They looked like the perfect couple, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, always hand in hand, exchanging witty banter online, glowing on red carpets. But behind the curated smiles and glamorous photo ops, a storm was brewing. When Time magazine honored them on its prestigious Time 100 list, fans expected celebration. Instead, they got silence and confusion. Blake didn't post, Ryan vanished, and whispers of legal threats, broken trust, and media manipulation began to spread. Suddenly, the Hollywood fairy tale was starting to crack, and what poured out was a story far more calculated and far more controlled than anyone expected. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the golden couple of Hollywood. At least, that's how the world saw them. Always smiling, cracking jokes, sharing cutesy Instagram banter, and appearing at every red carpet event hand in hand. But what if that picture-perfect image was nothing more than a masterclass in PR illusion? What if behind that polished exterior, there was a carefully staged performance designed to distract the public from the real chaos boiling underneath? Because now, the curtain has dropped. What began as subtle whispers about their Time 100 appearance has erupted into a full-blown legal nightmare, one that threatens not only their reputations but their entire marriage. And in the center of this storm, Justin Baldoni. Yes, the same Justin who was once celebrated as Hollywood's woke sweetheart is now being accused of something far more sinister. But how did this all explode so quickly? And more importantly, why is no one talking about it? Let's rewind to the Time 100 gala. On the surface, everything looked perfect. Blake and Ryan walked the red carpet like royalty. She wore that signature smile. He cracked the usual dad jokes. Cameras flashed, fans cheered, and headlines declared them the ultimate power couple. But eagle-eyed fans noticed something was off. Blake's body language was tense. Ryan looked distracted, and seated just a few tables away, Justin Baldoni. At first, no one thought much of it. Hollywood events are filled with A-listers, right? But when a video clip surfaced, one that showed Blake leaving the table in tears while Ryan stared blankly at Justin, the internet lost its mind. Was it a lover's spat? An argument? Or something deeper? Then came the lawsuit. Documents leaked online showed that Blake had filed a private injunction to suppress footage from the Time 100 event. The reason? Allegations of verbal misconduct directed at her by Baldoni, allegations that his team immediately denied. But Blake's legal team wasn't backing down. They claimed there was unreleased footage showing a heated exchange, one that painted Justin in a very different light. But here's where things got messy. Instead of focusing on the serious nature of the legal claims, media outlets did what they always do, shifted the narrative. Suddenly, the headlines weren't about the alleged confrontation. They were about Blake and Ryan's marriage. Rumors of separation, of tension, of past affairs flooded the internet. Some accused Blake of using the lawsuit to generate sympathy. Others accused Ryan of abandoning her emotionally. And a few even hinted that this was all a carefully orchestrated PR play. And the worst part? It worked. People forgot about the original issue. The media frenzy turned into a circus of speculation about divorce, custody, and Hollywood betrayals. And somewhere in the middle of all this, Justin Baldoni walked away relatively unscathed. No formal charges, no public apology, just silence. But sources close to the situation tell a different story. Insiders claim that the footage Blake wanted to suppress wasn't just embarrassing, it was damning. It allegedly captured a moment where Baldoni made inappropriate remarks toward her, while Ryan, unsure how to react publicly, chose to stay silent. That silence, according to some, is what caused the rift between Blake and Ryan. Not the incident itself, but his failure to stand by her when she needed him most. That's when Hollywood's favorite couple stopped posting together. Red carpet appearances grew rare. Paparazzi photos showed them leaving events separately. And soon, sources began feeding tabloids with stories of a split, stories that may have been planted to shift attention away from Baldoni entirely. And here's the twist. Some believe this entire narrative act, lawsuit, leaked footage, divorce rumors, was managed by one of Hollywood's most powerful PR firms. Why? To protect Baldoni, whose production company was about to launch a major streaming deal. Any scandal at that point would have tanked the deal. So instead, the scandal was deflected toward Blake and Ryan. But if that's true, then what does it say about the way Hollywood handles abuse allegations? What does it say about the value of image over integrity? And most chilling of all, what does it say about the cost of silence? Because in the end, the question isn't whether Blake and Ryan will divorce. It's not even about Justin Baldoni's guilt or innocence. The real question is, how many times has this happened before, and how many more times will it happen again? Because in Hollywood, truth isn't just stranger than fiction. It's manufactured, manipulated, and monetized. And this time, the illusion might just be falling apart. But this isn't just a story about one couple's fallout or a single incident at a gala. It's a glimpse into a much darker ecosystem, a system where celebrity relationships are commodified, where silence is bought, and where image is everything. Let's talk about the timeline. Just weeks before the Time 100 event, Justin Baldoni was seen having multiple meetings with executives from Netflix, Amazon, and Apple TV. His production company, Wayfarer Studios, was negotiating a multi-million-dollar deal for a new docuseries on compassion in leadership. The irony? While he was promoting empathy on screen, behind closed doors, his alleged behavior was sparking legal warfare. Sources from within the entertainment industry now suggest that Blake's legal team was pressured by mutual business interests and powerful intermediaries to settle quietly. And when she refused, the media war began. Think about it. Blake Lively, one of Hollywood's most respected actresses, suddenly painted as emotional, unstable, and attention-seeking. A tactic we've seen before. A tactic designed to discredit women who speak out. And Ryan? His silence became its own headline. Once the king of witty clapbacks and viral tweets, he suddenly went dark. No public statement. No social media defense. Nothing. Was it fear of jeopardizing his own endorsements and investments? Or was the relationship already so fractured that there was nothing left to defend? But here's where it gets heartbreaking. Behind all the legal jargon and tabloid chaos is a woman who, according to insiders, felt humiliated, betrayed not just by her peers, but by the system that promised to protect her. And while the world debated whether she and Ryan were over, Blake was quietly moving to protect her children. She's reportedly pushing for full custody, not out of revenge, but out of fear that the environment around them is no longer safe from media intrusion. And fans? They are divided. Some are calling out the hypocrisy in Hollywood's woke branding, how studios claim to support women, but remain silent when one of their own is accused. Others are blaming Blake, claiming she's trying to take down a good man for personal gain. But few are asking the right question. Why is it always the woman who has to prove she's telling the truth? Because when the footage eventually does surface, and trust me, it will, it could either exonerate Baldoni completely or destroy his carefully crafted image forever. And that's the gamble his team is taking. Meanwhile, Blake and Ryan are quietly preparing for battle. Not just a legal one, but a public relations war. Their teams have gone silent. No statements, no clarifications. Which, in today's media landscape, speaks louder than any headline. But if you think this is the end of the story, you're wrong. Hollywood doesn't just bury scandals. It recycles them, reinvents them, spins them into comeback arcs. There's already buzz that Justin Baldoni might reemerge as a victim of cancel culture, while Ryan Reynolds rebrands with a solo movie comeback, and Blake steps into a new activist role. The machine is always working. Always rewriting the script before the truth gets out. So what are we really watching here? A celebrity marriage ending? A legal battle? Or the unraveling of a powerful Hollywood lie? Because when fame is built on image, the moment that image cracks, the industry doesn't repair it. It replaces it. And maybe that's what's happening right now. Not just to Blake and Ryan, but to all of us who believed in the fairy tale. So next time you see a perfect couple smiling for the cameras, ask yourself, who's behind the lens and who's pulling the strings? Because in this town, no one gets to be authentic, not without a price.